press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to your social science class. We are going to continue the chapter forms of business organizations, your third chapter in business studies. So in the previous class we studied about sole trading concerns, that is managed by one person alone. He is the manager, he is the owner, he is everything. Okay, so whatever loss he gets, he has to incur it, whatever profits he gets, it is for him. So that was sole trading concern. Sole meaning one. S-O-U-L and S-O-L-E is different. Okay. So today we are going to deal with partnership firms. That is partnership. What is partner? Another person who is along with me is a partner. Partnership. So business is put well sharing with people. So partnership firms. Partnership firms, okay. Here you understand it like this. Firm is an organization, a company, okay. Partnership is now you, I, your classmate, okay, 4-5 of us will put a business. So we become partners, okay, we become partners. That is, we are sharing one kind of business. Now we want to put a textile shop, okay. Maybe we only stitch the clothes and everything we do. So we are partners in that textile clothing, okay. So why have these partnership firms come? Because of the problems that are there in doing the business alone. Problems that are there in doing the business alone, these kinds of partnership firms have come. Now 2 or 3 persons can join together to form this partnership for business. How many people? 2 or more. So 2 or more people can join in order to make this partnership. Alright. Then there was an act that was passed, okay. Partnership Firms Act in 1932. Partnership Firms Act in 1932 that was formed. Now, according to that act, in section 4 of this act, okay, according to Partnership Act, section 4, it says, see, the partnership firm meaning who, I'll just read it out for you and then we'll discuss it, okay. The partnership firm is defined as the relation between the persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all, okay. Now see, section 4 of the Partnership Act says like this. 2 or more people, okay, a relation between persons, now if you and I want to do a business, relation between you and me, that is you and I, we have agreed to do what? To share the profits of that business. Now you will also get 50%, I will also get 50% of the profits. So people who have a certain relation, who have agreed to share the profits, okay. Now agreed to share the profits carried on by one of them or all of them. That is, either profits are for you and for me, or profits are shared differently, or for me alone, for you alone, whatever it is, however they have agreed on. So basically this act, section 4 in this act says, people who are in relation have agreed to divide their profits by one of them or all of them, okay. Now the maximum number of partners is fixed to 10 people. 10 of them can carry out a banking business. So 10 people can carry banking business. Whereas if it's another kind of business, how many people can carry? 20 of them. That is general business. Okay. So 10 of them can carry banking business, whereas 20 of them restricted. Okay, maximum number of people, 20 of them can carry general business. Now, there are different kinds of partners. Okay, active or working partners, sleeping partners, nominal partners, and minor partners. So we will understand the 4 kind of partners now. First partner is active or working partners. Okay, active or working partners. Now, in this, both of them, now you and I have put a business, both you and I take equal responsibility. Active, both of them are active, both of us are active, we take equal responsibility. You also invest same amount of money, I also invest same amount of money. We share the profits equally, okay. Bear the losses also equally, share the profits and bear the losses also equally, and take active part in whatever we have to do every day. Now, any kind of work that has to be done in the business that is there, you also take equal role, I also take equal role. I share equal profit, you share equal profit. We bear equal losses. Then we invest equally. Now, if you have put 50,000, I also put 50,000. Okay, and then we share it. We share everything equally, and whatever has to be done day to day, we do it together. Okay, equal responsibilities are shared. Those are active or working partners. Next is sleeping partners. Okay, sleeping partners are now sleeping partner is, now you and I are sharing a business, okay, or 5 of us are sharing a business. In that, 3 of them are working, 2 of them are only investing money. They are only giving money for the business, but they are not doing day-to-day work. Those 2 of them are sleeping partners. The 3 of them are active partners. Okay. Now, 5 of them are there. 2 of them are only giving money to contribute or money for investment, and the rest 3 of them are working. So, those who are only contributing money to for investment are sleeping partners, but profits and losses are divided equally according to how much of they are invested. Now, you think 5 of them, 2 of them have given 50,000 each, 1 has given 25,000, 1 has given 40,000. So, how much ever money they have given, according to that the loss or profit is also divided. Next is nominal partners. Nominal partners, okay. Now these nominal partners are, they don't invest anything, they don't contribute anything, okay, nor they have any active participation in the day-to-day work. Okay, they don't get any share in the profit, but are equally responsible for the losses that are there. Okay, that is, they don't give a contribution, nor they work day to day, they don't work day to day, they don't get any profit, but they are they have equal responsibility to the losses that happen in the company. Then are minor partners. Okay, minor partners. Minor partners are those who have not attained the age of 18 years yet, but a minor also can become a partner of the company. But there should be a mutual agreement, or there should be some kind of understanding saying that the minor can be taken as one of our partners. The minor partners will get profit, but they are not responsible for the losses. Okay, they will not be eligible for the losses or anything, any defects happen in the business. But when a new partnership is just started, a minor cannot be admitted. If the business has been running for a very long time, then the minor can be admitted, but if the business is new, the minor cannot be admitted. Okay. Other than these are secret partners that are there, people who have not known to each other, limited partners, those who restrict themselves, and partners eligible only for profits. There are some people who are only eligible for profits. Now, next these are the 4 kinds of partners that are there. Next is partnership deed. Partnership deed. Okay. Now there is a deed or like an agreement that is there. It's always done in writing. Okay, everything that is written is factual. Everything that is written can be trusted. Okay, because everything is written down. Now their agreement is written down and signed by all of their partners. Now each organization has a different way of agreement. Each way of along with your partners, each way of agreement is different. It contains terms and conditions. Okay, terms and conditions. Every product, have you seen, if they advertise also, the terms and conditions can apply. Okay, terms and conditions apply. So every business has their own terms and conditions. Now what is there in this deed? Okay, it's a paper like this. If you have seen, you go to the shops, they give you their number and other things are displayed there. Okay, a form like this. The name of the firm is there. Okay, the name of the owner, the partners' names. Okay, address of the partners, address of the firm, what kind of business are you doing. Okay, everything is written down. If you have like branches in 4 or 5 cities, that also has to be mentioned in this. Okay, when did you start your business? Then how much of money each person has given, each partner has given, how much of amount are you sharing with each of them. Like if I get profit, how much money I am giving you, how much money I am taking, how much money I am giving the next person. Okay. Then what kind of duty each partner has, how much of work is divided between each partner. Then what conditions are needed to join in as a partner of that company or that business, I am sorry. Then valuation of good. Okay, if you have to evaluate the goods that are coming. Then at the time of closing your business, if you have to, when you close your business, when you evaluate whatever you have, what kind of valuation do you do, and if you have to pass on to anybody, how will you do it. Okay. Now they should also be writing there, if I and you and I don't go along well, and if we want to quit or something, or if we don't have to do the business together, what we should do. So everything is laid down in this deed. Okay, it's just like it will come like a booklet, and everything, terms and conditions are written down. So merits, now we'll see the merits, that is advantages of having these partnership firms. Okay. First one, it is easy to form. Easy to form. That is, no legal formalities are required, and registration of the partnership is not needed. Okay. Therefore, you can start the firms properly. More capital. That is, when each person is contributing. Now, if we are 5 of them, the money is distributed, isn't it, among 5 of them. If I am working, or if I am doing my business alone, or you are doing a business alone, you have to invest alone. But when there is partnership, 4 or 5 people are giving money together. Okay. So, the investment is more in that way. Then is better efficiency. That is, division of work is done. Okay, many people are working together, so there is work that is being divided, and everybody has a role of the manager, so everybody functions well. Next is credit worthiness. Credit worthiness is limitations of partners that are there. So, each one has their own credit that they get. Okay, they are worthy of the credit that they do. Then sharing of business loss. Sharing of business loss. Sharing of business losses. Now, if there is any loss, then you and I, everybody will have that loss. If I do it alone, then I will have to bear the loss alone. Now, it is borne by all the people. Okay, secrecy of business is the next one. Secrecy of business, that is, partnership firms do not give out their accounts or their statements of money anywhere. Okay, so with this, secrets are maintained among the partners, that is, in terms of money or in terms of anything that they do. Simple dissolution. Simple dissolution, that is, partnership firms can be closed easily, dissolved. Okay, dissolved meaning closed easily. Now, any partner, now if there are 5 of them, one wants to quit or he wants a dissolution, that is, he wants to close it, he has to give a notice of 14 days. A notice of 14 days can be given, and then if all the partners agree to it, then it can be dissolved or closed down, finished off. Okay. So, this is what is the merits of partnership firms, that is, easy to form, more capital because all of them are investing, better efficiency because all of them are working, everybody has a managerial role to play, and everybody's work is distributed and divided equally. Credit worthiness is all people are equally working together, so here and there they are worthy of the credit that they have. Sharing of business, that is, divide and work. Okay, they are dividing their roles and responsibilities, and that's how they work. Then secrecy of business and simple dissolution, that is, secrecy in terms of statements of account, and everything is kept down, money in terms of money. And simple dissolution is any member who wants to dissolve it or finish it off, he has to give a notice of 14 days, and then in consent with all the partners, that is all partners have to agree, and then that can be dissolved in its own way. Alright, now we will stop at this. What I want you to do is read how much we have finished. In the coming class, we will get into demerits of partnership firms, how you have to register to get into a partnership firm, then advantages, and Hindu undivided family firms. So, this will continue in the coming class. Here it is a very small lesson, so you may mostly have to remember what is partnership deeds, because that is given in detail there, and you can look up to the question and answers there. You can just make an analysis and understand what kind of questions can be asked, okay, what kind of questions can be asked, and how you can read your things that is there. Okay, so with this we will stop, students. Thank you very much for listening, but get ready for the next class by reading how much we have finished and making yourself aware of what is going to happen in the coming class. Thank you very much.